Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today we are watching BB Aberov Geo 1976 and I'm probably mispronouncing the nickname. Now he is in the Mahan class destroyer and this is a ranked battle. It is taking place on the map Shatter and it's a 3-point domination map. Now, here in the beginning there is already some discussion going on where the team should go, and well, some people say A first. I don't think A is that great of a choice considering that they have 4 ships here and only 3 ships at A. Also the slowest ship, the battleship, is here towards C, so in the end they end up here going for C, and I think that's a very wise choice. Now obviously you wanna have the majority of the points, so they probably need to try to contest B as well, but B on this map can be very tricky, because there are so many islands around here and so many ways where you can be ambushed and where people can shoot torpedoes at you. Oh, there is a Pensacola coming in here. It's possible that the enemies are going for C as well. We shall see how they decide. This is certainly a very risky course this Pensacola is taking, especially if he doesn't have any destroyers in front scouting. And it seems like the friendly destroyer, second friendly destroyer, is going to try to take B. Those cruisers, they take the safe route and will meet up with the team, which is probably a good choice. Now those ships here, they are a bit too passive. You can't really, I think in a ranked mode there are so few players, you can't really be outside here somewhere. You are way too far from where stuff is happening. And you probably won't meet an enemy, because if the enemies see that your team has taken C, they'll probably try to contest B and not go out here. So if you drive around here, you're probably in a position where you have nobody to shoot at and can't support your team. So it would be better if those ships take a more aggressive approach. Now the friendly destroyer here is already forced to retreat. Unfortunately, he has no support. Those cruisers, they took a safe route, and while I think that's correct, they just aren't there yet. And those ships, they are a bit too far outside to provide a lot of fire support here in the center. And this means that this Pensacola is still alive. I mean, technically, with the route he sailed, he should never have survived. Those ships should have taken their ship apart. Now the Mahan is taking the way around this island and is trying to contest B. Unfortunately, the friendly team has lost the second destroyer. The enemies have lost the cruiser, so it's still pretty even. But if the enemies capture B and can hold that point for a while, it's going to be ugly. The way B is located, it's easy to defend but hard to capture. While you can sit a ship inside the cap circle, maybe behind an island, and try to contest it, if the enemy does the same thing, you just can't capture. If they have a destroyer sitting behind an island, could safely just sit there and force you to push in the point aggressively in order to take him out. So but it doesn't look like the enemies are actually trying to do that. They don't have anyone inside this point. Fortunately, this friendly cruiser got taken out. Inside B there just isn't enough room to maneuver. And if you're spotted and there is a large enemy force here who can shoot inside this point, you are pretty screwed. Now Aberov here he is using this island as a cover, and he's trying to capture that point. And so far it seems to be working, which means the enemies don't have anybody inside the cap circle, which is bad for them and good for the friendly team. If he can stay in this area and capture, then he's pretty safe. Now, while the friendly cruisers are moving in a little bit more of an aggressive position, this battleship is he is too far away. He's in New Mexico, I think. I mean, it's not a fast ship, which meant going on the outside already was, I don't think, the best move, because you're just too far away from the battle. And he should really aggressively try to join the fight here. He's too far away to be of much use. Even if he can lob a few shells inside here, and sniping really won't do much. So I'd love to see this battleship take a more aggressive route here, but so far they are one ship behind, but they have control of more points. So if they can defend B, it's not looking too bad. Unfortunately, the enemies are trying to capture, and Aberov is the only one in a position to really defend. He can try to get in here, but remember, there is an enemy destroyer right in front of him, and he doesn't have any sort of cover from that. He doesn't have a lot of fire support. There is a cruiser behind him. But contesting B here is risky. He's trying. And he is detected, and there is an enemy cruiser, which is bad news. So he is using smoke here. And yeah, oh. Well, that's nice. So his torpedoes in the smoke got rid of the enemy destroyer, which means the cap points the enemies had are basically reset, and now there is only this Nuremberg remaining. He's switched to armor piercing, and well, this enemy cruiser is dealt with, so now it's looking great. They have one more point and they have one more ship. All they have to do now is defend, and they shall win. And those torpedoes could prove troubles. No, okay. Those torpedoes could have been troublesome if they had more reach, but everything's fine. Now it seems that there is an enemy cruiser trying to sneak around here. Not sure if this is the best strategy. There is a friendly cruiser here in the north who is also trying to sneak around. Yeah, this cruiser, I mean, he kind of has shots inside B, I guess. But they've lost this point, and so far Aberov is the only one who is really trying to contest that. I mean, as a destroyer, is obviously here on the front lines, but a little bit more support from those friendly ships would go a long way in actually holding B. And hey, the battleship is still slowly moving somewhere. At least this battleship can intercept the enemy cruiser, so that's nice. Ah, those torpedoes missed, but the cruiser is currently presenting broadside, I think, to this battleship, so let's hope this battleship can make something happen. If he can push this cruiser back, that's already helping. And Aberov is once again capturing B. The enemies don't have anyone inside the point to contest it, so it's looking good. This cruiser here in the north is a little bit too far ahead, I think. He doesn't really have support from the team. You know what? It's not like the enemy battleship is all that aggressive. Oh, those torpedoes can hopefully discourage enemies from going into that cap circle. Nuremberg might be coming in here to cap. We currently don't know where the destroyer is. The friendly team has a big lead by... You would think this is almost a sure victory by now. One cruiser I think is at very low health. The cruiser in the north is in a bad position still. Oh, he has some cover here with those islands. He doesn't have an awful lot of support if he needs some enemies over there. Also, at this point there's really no point in pushing towards A. You don't need it. You have such a big lead. All you wanna do is, at this point, sit back, hold B and just win. And yeah, we now know where all the enemies are. That's great. And maybe he can get a good torpedo salvo into this Nuremberg. So he is detected here. It would seem that the enemy is using, I guess, hydroacoustic surge. He's here slowly reversing into cover from these islands. It's possible that the Nuremberg tries to aggressively push in here. The enemies have to make something happen. They don't have the luxury of just waiting. And this York has moved outside of his cover here, so not sure how that will turn out for him. And there is a torpedo hit. That's nice. But the enemies are once again capturing B. Eberov is a bit scared, I guess, from going into B. He currently doesn't have much support near. There is a cruiser coming, that's nice. And there is a torpedo hit against the Nuremberg. With the support from the cruiser behind him, they should be able to take out this Nuremberg without much of a problem. And the friendly battleship, he is still just slowly pushing forward. And there goes the Nuremberg. But it looks like the enemy battleship has actually decided to take a more active role in this battle. Might be a bit late, but he is pushing inside B. And I'm guessing the destroyer they have is also somewhere near here. I hope those torpedoes can make something happen. Obviously the Colorado will expect torpedoes when you can't drive inside this point and not expect torpedoes. And hey, here I have 3 cap resets. Now the guns won't do a lot against this enemy battleship, but if he can keep resetting the cap, that would already be quite a bit of help. Now the enemies are down to 2 ships, the friendlies are down to 4 ships. The cruiser here in the north has died. And not sure, the friendly battleship, maybe he has shots inside here, I don't think so. So it's basically those 2 cruisers and the destroyer against the enemy battleship currently. And the friendly battleship, the position he's in, he's also easy prey for the enemy destroyer, I guess. So the team has lost one more cruiser. And well, battleship is no longer visible, so it will be hard to interrupt him. On the other hand, it's not that devastating if they get B, because it looks like the friendly battleship will capture A, and that means they'll still have more points. Now Aberov here is trying to interrupt this Colorado and doesn't wanna give him a chance to capture. But without smoke and with only 3,500 hit points left, this distance is very dangerous. So he kind of has to move away and try his best to avoid the enemy shells. And the friendly cruiser is also dead, so he is the only one left here to interrupt this battleship. Now it's head versus 2.0. This game looked a lot better some time ago. At least the friendly battleship is at almost max health, but yeah. So far this battleship hasn't showed the best decision making. Now he keeps to interrupt this Colorado, but not sure how long he can keep this up. Yep, there is one hit and its health is just dangerously low, so it, with them controlling A now, it's probably not worth it to interrupt the Colorado any further. He's breaking sight and he will now probably return and maybe try to get a torpedo salvo off. Currently they just win over time. But the friendly battleship is now aggressively pushing here towards B, and we don't know where the enemy destroyer is. So if this battleship dies, like to the destroyer or something, could be problematic. And it seems like the Colorado is aggressively going this way. I'm not sure if he's trying to avoid the battleship or if he is trying to hunt the destroyer. Now the enemy destroyer seems to be taking A. But the enemy battleship's gun are pointed in this direction, and the New Mexico now has shots at the broadside. Interestingly enough, the enemy battleship isn't even turning his turrets, so he is completely ignoring the New Mexico. I don't know, he probably wants another shot at the destroyer, or... well, I mean, the time is almost over. Maybe he has just given up at this point. And now, any second now, they will win. Let's take a look at the results. And by the way, you can make a screenshot in-game by pressing print screen, so you don't have to use an external device to do that. But it's working fine, so no problem. Now Aberov managed to get 4,830 base experience, which is very well done by him, and he certainly carried his team here. The friendly team was a bit too passive, and I think often they were out of position to actually defend the point, and there was really no reason in the end to push towards the enemies. If you have the majority of the capture points, then you just stay back and defend and wait. But the friendly team pulled it off, thanks to Averov, and they won the match. Now he did 63,000 damage, almost 64,000 damage, got high caliber, a devastating strike, and yeah, he had 25 cap resets. Yeah, well, very well played by him. So I hope you enjoyed this battle. I certainly did. And see you guys next time.